Three-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade graced the presence of the Unapologetically Angel podcast today, and they had a great conversation. Also, they aired out some things that I've always said about Angel Reese. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, today was one of those days for great conversation, man. And three-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, he graced the presence of Angel Reese's Unapologetically podcast. And see, a lot of people had a problem with when Angel Reese started her podcast because Angel Reese wanted her voice to be heard. She wanted to kill all the narratives that was out there about her. She wanted to say it in her own words to let people know, now it's not like that. So today on Unapologetically Angel podcast, D Wade and Angel Reese had an excellent conversation. And a lot of things that was said on that podcast was a lot of things that I've been saying here on my channel about Angel Reese. They got off into a lot of different topics and a lot of different subjects. And one of the subjects that stood out was, D Wade is really supporting Angel Reese on her criticism about people talking about her offense. And D Wade had a different perspective on it. And then they got off into, the defense of winning championships and, rebounding. And that was a key part of what, Angel wanted to say to all these people out here that had the narrative about she's stat padding. Teams are letting her get rebounds and that's the only thing she can do. And then, you criticizing her for what she can't do, but not giving her flowers for the things that she does. Because we've all seen Angel Reese has won on all levels by just rebounding and defending. And personally, Angel Reese is a great defender. I know she didn't make the WNBA all defensive team, first or second team, but we debated that and we thought that she at least could have got on that, second tier of the all WNBA defensive team, but that didn't happen. So today on her Unapologetically Angel, she spoke about a lot of things. Also, she pointed out about the rebounding. So what happened was they got off into a conversation and basically Angel Reese is calling out all these haters and all these people that are putting their own narrative out there about her rebounding and stat padding, and that's all she can do, and she don't have an offensive bag. So they had an interesting conversation. So let's take a listen to one of the conversations that they had. This is just a small clip between her and D Wade, talking about some things. But if y'all want to hear that whole podcast in its entirety, go follow Angel Reese on Unapologetically, and you can listen to the full episode. But let's play a little clip on what they was talking about. And then once we finish listening to that, we'll come back and we'll finish up the show. Take a listen.
Amazing team basketball, amazing this, amazing that. Yeah. But if you go 4 for 13, they're like, oh, she's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not all about offense.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere along the line, we lost that, and it just made it all about just the offensive end of the floor. But basketball is, you can be great in basketball in so many different ways. And I think that's the thing that the generation now don't hear.
Yeah.
And so what they hear is scoring. They see scoring. So that's all they want to do.
Yeah.
And so you can't fault them for it, what they don't see anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I get critiqued a lot, obviously, because I do rebound, and I do rebound in a great way, and I play defense. Obviously, as a rookie, coming into the league, my mind was just to get a fresh start. Like, I did everything I wanted in college. I won a championship. Like, I had the college experience of doing what I I wanted. When I came into the league, I just wanted to be able to grow. And luckily, I was really, really good in one specific thing, which was rebounding. And I knew I had to tighten up on my offense and what I'm going to do in the off season. But like, so many people critique me because I was a great rebounder. And sometimes like, why don't y'all box me out? Like, how come y'all don't box me out? And like, I don't. Wow. It's tough to see that, but I've always watched players like you, Dennis Rodman, like players that always did the little things that like got you to championships. Like you've won championships, you got MVPs, and it wasn't just because of offense; it was both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I just getting a chance to watch you. Automatically, I realized why you're a great offensive rebounder, but a great rebounder is you do your work early.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is a lot of people they don't, right? A lot of people are ball watchers.
Yeah.
And you while they watching the ball, you already done the work. They're done. Yeah. And so it's not even the fact that they don't even know how to box you out because they don't understand. Like as soon as that ball go up, I got to locate Angel. Yeah. They're not doing that. It's the nature of the game we play in is everything is somebody drive, we looking. Yeah. And so you're someone who do your work so early that they don't even have time to figure out like what you're doing and why you're getting so many rebounds. When I came to Chicago, I was just sitting there watching. I was like, oh, that's why she's so dominant at this. Yeah. And when a player comes in from college or anywhere, you want them to at least have a strength in something. Mm-hmm. Your strength has them to be so strong that it allow people to now start commenting on the other things you can't do. Right? Because that was so amazing, right? And so, but that's the world that we all live in. Is the world that when they're gonna talk about what they can't do. Yeah. That you know what I'm saying? Like they can't do what you do.
Now you heard what D Wade said, man. He broke it down so eloquently, man. That's a fact. And Angel Reese, put it out there. Box me out. That's a theory I have in sports. Like, if you don't want somebody to get in the end zone, keep them out the paint. If you don't want somebody celebrating when they get a touchdown, stop them. If you don't want, somebody on the highlight reel, guard them. So basically what D Wade said is facts. I mean, D Wade is saying the exact same thing I've been saying on this channel for the longest. And people will still come up in the comments saying that she's stat padding. And you know what we call that? They only here to cause confusion.
They only here to cause confusion.
And see, the crazy thing about it is, D Wade, a 3-time NBA champion and a finals MVP, he know what it takes. He know the grit and grind. Off into that, soliloquy that he said was about the offense. You can look up and, see Angels 4 for 13, and then you're going to criticize the offensive side of the ball, but you don't want to give her props for what she's doing defensively. And, Angel Reese had to call that out. So I'm glad that Angel Reese has a voice. I'm glad that she has this podcast where she can come out and speak the truth and, to kill all these narratives. But, one thing that I like about this whole conversation is throughout the conversation, Angel Reese asked the Hall of Famer about what, she could get better at. And D Wade was telling her, like, the stuff that you work on with your trainer, why work on it if you're not going to utilize it in the game? And that's what I've said about Angel Reese. Angel Reese has a package, but she just has to trust her skills and go out there and do it. D Wade said, if you're working on a move, you instantly got to go into that game and try that move. But if you're not going to try that move, why work on that, move with your trainer or, in practice if you're not going to go out there and utilize it? And then Angel went on to say that, that's the problem that she has. She been working with the trainer. She knows she can shoot the ball. She knows she got a mid-range game. She knows she can shoot the three-pointer. But like I said, Angel just got to go out there and trust it. And that's what she said she's having a hard time is trusting to shoot that mid-range game, trusting to shoot that three-pointer. But I'm glad that she just came out and said what it is about rebounding. She came in with a skill set. We knew what Angel was, capable of doing. In college, 25 double-doubles. We knew she was a relentless rebounder. And she's basically saying, how can that be stat padding? I've been doing this all my whole career, even before I got to the W. They didn't think she was going to be able to do it at the W at a high clip and lead the WNBA in rebounding at 13.1 rebounds a game. And, she set out the last 6 games of the season. And me personally, I think that had an input in, her not being on the all defensive team because she shut down everybody that, that she played. So, guys, I'm just glad that Angel came out and voiced it. But, Angel's shutting these haters up, any chance that she can get. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces. And remember, on your way out the door, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And we out of here. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.